Oh, welcome boys and girls, I'm Zakuba Winters, and today we're here talking about the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest at Berlin's Keynote address. So with this, I want to make this a more condensed version of the keynote because it went on for like an hour and a half, so I just want to show the slides and whatnot and try to make this pretty quick to have a bit more of a Cliff Notes version of what went down. So, with that, they did show a bit more of the trailer as it opened up with. And then they showed off these airships, showing off that, like, the world is all frozen, so everybody lives in airships. There's another airship. There's people on the airships. And this shows the new class, which we'll get into pretty quickly. They showed another person with a little bird. I don't have a picture of the bird here, but this is someone else we're going to deal with. That was new and not shown in the last trailer. You have these giant, I forgot what they called these, but you have a big, colossal thing going over one of the airships, which could be a trial fight, I would assume. And you have us. This is the Warrior of Light going full Reaper mode. I'm not sure why they picked Reaper as the class representation, but here we are as Reaper. So they showed off new jobs, or at least new job, really, even though it is S. But we have Bastion is the new class. It's a double shield with a claw thing, and also they can turn it around for guns. So they show off, it had a cool little trailer showing off some of the things. You show them being able to stab stuff with the claw parts and then shoot stuff from a distance with the other side and flip it around and shoot stuff. So it is going to be a main tank, and as I said before, it's going to be evolved mode only. Their weapons are called Skiltborgs. The starting class will be level 90 and will be in Limsalominsa. Here, yes. Starting location will be Limsalominsa. So, and then next up is the final job will be revealed in Tokyo. So, of course, the last Fan Fest will have the second job, which will be range physical. And they showed off the new zones, that these zones are going to be on these airships. You have Naglfar, Realm Ship of Water. So these are called Realm Ships. So we get Realm Ship of Water. It showed off in certain areas. They had a lot more clips and whatnot, but I kind of wanted this to be fast. So we have a few screenshots here, and they did want to make sure that while, you're going to be on an airship, these are going to be full-size zones. So we're not getting tiny zones. So they are going to be the same size as what we've been used to. They're just going to be on airships now. Just giant airships. We have another area. We have the Realm Ship of Fire, which is the next one. Whatever, I'm not gonna bother pronouncing it. We went from Latin crazy names to now Norse names. So we have the Realm Ship of Fire, which is not completely, fire. There is a lake, very autumn looking colors in the trees, but we do have very factory, kind of not Nomergon, but whatever place was in World of Warcraft. Really reminds me of that. So main story, field, and game system updates. So we have so this is with the early levels of Evercold. You're going to have the starting area. You're going to have the little diversions like normal. Then they want to change it up that the next 3 areas you can go to. You can pick whichever order you want. And then with that, once you get to the 5th or the 4th area, it'll converge back. And what they plan on doing is having essentially a level sync with all 3 zones and all 3, like the fates and all the dungeons tied to these dungeons. So you're able to go to, you go from area A, but you can do area D, and then go to area B, and then go to area C. And then once you're done with all 3, you go on to the 4th area. So pretty much the starting, side with this character, and then you can side with this other character to kind of diverge people off from the very launch of the game. They're doing this much further and having, the first 3 zones be able to, just start in whichever zone you want. And they're having level sync to be able to go to wherever. So they have, this person's level 5, or 105, 108, and whatnot. Player level unaffected, and enemy and duty difficulty scaled. And balance is maintained. Also, they have a cute picture of Emeliance, if you want that. So, next up, we have... So they went over the going from daily to weekly things with how tomes are done. So they just reminded us, but more details to come in Tokyo. So as all these are just kind of, just placeholders for right now. So the armory system is that, again, they talked about this in the last live letter, but this is any class that is max level, you'll be able to use the max level gear for any other class that's max level. So if you have a 110 class and you have item level 790, if you have another class that's level 110, you can just use the item level from one class to another, but they do have to be whatever your highest class is. So also that you don't get the materia benefits. So gearing up individual jobs, or at least the class set, going from tank and healer here, there is a benefit to doing that. Next up is the character action skins. So they talked about this, but they showed a bit more in this FanFest. So they want to be able to replace certain actions. They mainly with duty actions or battle skills. Mainly talked about old removed actions, like was it Crown of Thorns for Dragoon, which was a very popular one. Granado Shot being one for Machinist, which is really annoying considering a lot of enemies and Fate bosses in Dawn Trail use Granado Shot, but be able to change the animations from one skill to another. They also talked about using normal, basic animations like teleporting, that they want to have different variations. So this picture, they showed the normal one. They have a type A that has a very light based animation, and then this one is very dark, and he's all tweaking out and dark energy as he teleports away. So they have this improved character creation. They have a color picker for eyes, hairs, and skin tone. Improved customization of eyes, lips, and addition of eyeshadow features, and face paint layering. Also, the ability to toggle on and off select parts of individual gear pieces. And they also showed with Lalafell and Vieira nose shading. So they wanted, let me just remove myself here, is with Lalafell's, you have a little darkening of the nose, and same with Vieira. You'll be able to toggle that off. With Vieira, you have face paint. You'll be able to just turn that off so you can just have basic skin tone instead of having the what they called war paint. I'm not actually sure if that is like, unless that is some kind of lore thing. And with Aura, you can change the horns. So you have different horns here, and you can just change them to however you like, instead of having it be tied to the individual race or the like tribe. So another thing, though, this is not exactly how it's going to work, but they do want to have a like auto like go to the quest mode. So they have a little guide here to show like where the next quest is and be able to automatically just go to the quest, since it talked about how a lot of games now are, you know, implementing things like this, and they've always wanted to just have the travel be a part of the quest. But you know, it's like, do people ain't got time for MMOs anymore, so let's just have this be a bit easier. Again, this is not the official how it's gonna work, but kind of a mock-up of what they want to do. And then the new difficulty for the raid, they actually did not give it a name, but they did talk about the middle difficulty of the 8-man raids. It's going to be a bit easier than extremes, so it'll be harder than normal, but easier than extreme. And what they want to do is, with Savage Raid, you're going to get the Savage Raid. All the gear and how you unlock things are still going to be the same with Savage gear. And with the new difficulty, they said there's going to be season gear, and you're going to like slowly be able to gradually upgrade these. I don't know if you're going to be able to get like the Savage rewards, if you can like slowly get the Savage gear. I don't, like, they didn't really make that too clear, unless you're just gonna get like a middle of the road, like stronger than normal but weaker than Savage, unless you can like slowly get to Savage gear. So with that, they also talked about the same region player matchmaking. They're going to do a test run in Japan on October 2nd or 12th. So this will have a 24-hour maintenance. This will most likely be for everyone. And will, after they've run through all the bugs and kinks and make sure everything's working right, they're going to expand it to NA, EU, and China. Though no word on the Korean servers, though. And they have new dungeons. They showed off some dungeons. Got some pirate ships, some kind of, you know, Viking ship. Have 2 platforms of both the fire and water area, and I just realized this is just like out in the middle of just like a town. So they showed, there's the water arena, looks like a boss fight, and the wind looks like we're in like a big tornado, and also most likely a boss fight here. And then they showed off gear. So we have, okay, we got Paladin, Summoner, Carpenter, I want to say here. This is not Red Mage. This is Gem Crafter. And Gunbreaker? He's got a blindfold, so I'm guessing Gunbreaker. And we have Ninja, which I hate because I want a full face mask. Give me a full face mask, please. We have Warrior and Monk. I'm just gonna remove myself again. And then we have, either Gem Crafter or Leather Worker. We have Weaver and Culinarian. We have new threats. We have, this is most likely a dungeon boss in the wind area, and this could be a trial fight. Could also be a dungeon boss, but they have shown the last time they did new threats, it was just the final dungeon boss. Then they showed a bunch of new bosses. So we have a Siren Siren Recolor, a bunch of just crazy things here. Some lava things. So, make of that what you will. Most likely, probably boss fights, or just bosses. Maybe some like Fate, like the Super Fates might be here. Then have a Chocobo Companion Overhaul. So with this, we're going to be allowed to bring our Chocobos into dungeons. We can do with 2 people in duty support, and we can also bring 2 Chocobos in the dungeons. Chocobo breeding will be a complete system overhaul, though I think this means more towards your own Chocobo, not the race Chocobo breeding. With Gashel Greens, re-examining of effect and usage. Since this is only just to up the timer, they're probably gonna like have how that's gonna work, reworked. Basic commands, complete revamping, which is good because you really just told them to like auto attack in like a one stance of just battle stance, tank stance, healer stance, and just free for all. And then the updates start patch 8.1, so we're not going to get that on launch, but please look forward to it. And next, they showed off the small trailer, though they did have fun. They went to show the new trailer of the Evangelion thing and just played the old one again. They did show, I don't know if it was the same, but he definitely has some like something going on here on the neck here. So they showed a bit more of kind of the same trailer. They showed we're gonna have the people in charge of people who did the Evangelion series a part of the raid. So I somehow screwed up my slides here, but the people who are doing the artwork of Evangelion are going to be doing artwork and whatnot for the raid. Next, we have the new 8-player raid, Ultimate Raid, and PvP updates. They did actually not talk about Ultimate Raid or PvP updates, but, it's things that are going to happen in Evercold. But they do have the new 8-man raid series, and that is going to be Beyond the Lifestream with Final Fantasy VII, primarily Final Fantasy VII Remake. So, you're getting 2 collaborations of both the 8-man and 24-man raid series, so feel about how you do, how you will. But it's, Midgar, whether we're going to Midgar, unless that's like its own, if it's its own ship, or how we're getting to there, how we're even getting to other, Final Fantasy VII world. But with this first it's going to be 3 tiers. First tier starting in 8.01, so 2 weeks after the main Evercold. It is going to have the normal mode, the new difficulty, and Savage. Again, it's not called new difficulty, but, whatever they plan on calling it. The story will be by the Final Fantasy XIV scenario team, the story supervision by people in charge of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and art design by Tetsuya Nomura. So the people, there's one part that I didn't actually put, but pretty much the Final Fantasy Remake team, Final Fantasy VII Remake team, is like all in on this raid series. So they did also show they announced it with a remake of One Wing Angel. So if they're showing this right away, I don't know if we're getting Sephiroth like tier 1 or like in the first tier, which would be crazy, unless we get like basic Sephiroth and then like the big Bizarro Sephiroth in like raid 2, and then the third wave get the like finale like Safer Sephiroth. That's to be seen. Because I would think the transformations would have to be like Savage exclusive things, so. So next, because with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, they've said that they were announcing a Gold Saucer update with the live letters many a time ago before, patch 7.5. We're finally getting our updates for the Gold Saucer, and that is going to be in 7.56, which of course will have the Part 2 main scenario and Beastmaster. We are getting a new Gold Saucer area. What all this entails, but this is the Final Fantasy VII Remake version of the Gold Saucer. And with this, we are and we do have Kate here. So, I didn't realize this the first time. But we'll have him. And our new minigame that we're going to get is Keybound Brawler, coming in October 28th. So, apparently this is not launching with 7.56 itself. So, we're getting Typing of the Dead, but Final Fantasy. So, the first theme will be Final Fantasy VII themed, since we get like Zack Fair and Phoenix and all that. So we're gonna have this. They just showed some screenshots, and they did also have the wait. You're going to have a collaboration with Final Fantasy VII, and we're doing typing game. Okay, yeah, so it was not lost on the Final Fantasy VII Remake dev team there. But we have this, and for rewards, we'll be having a Barret and Tifa outfits. And because they couldn't have the gun be able to equip it with the weapon, we will have the Barret's Gatling gun as a fashion accessory. And next we have the Nintendo Switch version coming in August 4th. So we have this. During this time, you'll get a free, the first month will be free. Oh yeah, I didn't show. Yeah, so first month will be free. After that, we'll have, normal subscriptions. And then after this, they showed the Final Fantasy XIV Collector's Edition. They do not have any pre-order date. That's mostly going to be on the Tokyo Fan Fest. But we have Reaper figurine here. We have Crystal Skullborgs, the new mount, and the Entreat Crystal emote, which is the summoning the people during a trial. We have the keychain, a literal keychain, a tapestry of the fourth. This looked like it was kind of framed. I don't know if it was done for the picture, but it doesn't look very clothy. Of like a map, like you're hanging this on a wall somewhere. And then we have another keychain of the new creatures, and of course the box art for the Collector's Edition by Yoshitaka Amano. And this, yes, expertly crafted Reaper figure, Ethos metal keychain, Kotor mini plush, Tapestry of the Fourth, and the Evercold special box art. And then with the mount is the Valhalla Odin from Final Fantasy VI, or Final Fantasy XIII, which does transform when flying. So that'll be the collector's mount, And they showed again the mount, the emote, and the weapon, which will be for Bastion. And the next Fan Fest will be in Tokyo, Saturday, October 1st or 31st, and November 1st. So that is it for the rundown and notes for the live letter, or the keynote for the Berlin Fan Fest. There is a live letter that they did that's mainly covering Beastmaster. We'll probably make a video about that, But for right now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Also, since I did a Cliff Notes, kind of speedy version of this, at least tried to anyways, if you want more details, I mean, there is always the Keynote as well. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a very good day. And until then, bye!